Well, hi everybody, and thanks for tuning into this week 4 of the rolling program. Hopefully you've already seen weeks 1 through 3, although if you haven't, it doesn't really matter. These can be standalone sessions, but I would thoroughly recommend that you go back to the other weeks and watch them if you haven't seen weeks 1, 2 and 3. So if you're coming out at week 4, then I suggest you go back and have a look at those. And if you have seen the other weeks, then perhaps revisit them at some point again, because you're always learn as you go through these different weeks. So first of all, what we'll do is we'll have a quick recap of week 3. So in week 3, what we looked at was different methods of prospecting, and we recommended that you look at least 3 different methods of prospecting, so using at least those 3 different methods. We then talked about ordering your business cards and flyers, and opportunity cards as well. There's examples of those on Forever Knowledge, and I think we also mentioned to talk to your sponsor to see if there's anything in particular that they use and having good success with. We talked about being consistent with your contacting and your profiling, and this business really is all about consistency. The more and more that we talk to people around the business, it's those that are consistent with the amount of work and effort that they put in that get the results. And the results they get is the amount of effort they put in on a consistent basis. So if you've only got a small amount of time, be consistent with it, and your results are just going to take a little bit longer than somebody who's consistent with a huge amount of time. That's just standard practice, really. And also be consistent with your profiling. That's profiling of prospects that we talked about. We talked about building your pipeline. Your pipeline is after you've talked to people, and it's your record that you keep then of where they are in the system, whether when you talk to them, when you're talking to them next, what presentation they've seen, when they're going to a BP, and things such as that. So that's your pipeline, and we're looking at having about 20 to 30 people that are actively moving through your pipeline. That's what you need to be active in forever. If you're using social media, which is an area that a lot of people are now using to build the businesses quite quickly in forever, then we talked about recording your short video, and this is just a 5-minute clip of you just talking about that you've joined the business and you started the business and what it's doing for you and what you can see it doing. Once again, talk to your sponsor for lots of examples of different videos that you can then get some ideas from. And also practice the one-to-one. If you're going down the route of doing one-to-ones instead of just sending video links to people, then you need to practice that, and you can practice that with your sponsor or anybody else in the team, or anybody who will listen to you, or even the dog or the cat, or even the kids. The idea is just to practice it so you get confident in going through that one-to-one presentation. You want to be consistently building up your who you know list. So whenever you're out and about and somebody gives you good service or is pleasant or you think is a nice person, see if you can get the details and add them to your who do you know list, or add them straight onto your Facebook page. Whichever you do is fine, as long as you're then keeping a track of them and you're building up your new contacts and building them into your who you know list. You want to be looking at getting new customers, looking after your old customers, and then looking at expanding your business to get some new customers, and we're going to be going through some different methods of retailing today. And then you want to be recording your activity. This is, as we call, keeping stats. It's very, very important to start recording activity, because if you don't know what you need to do to sponsor a new person into your business, then how do you know how much time and effort you've got to put in to make it happen? So it's really, really important that you start recording your activity. So that was at the end of week 3, so they're the sort of things that you should all have in place now. If you haven't, then I suggest you go back to week 3, listen to the program again, and then start putting those things in place. So week 4, what we're going to look at this week is methods of retailing and developing a customer base and customer care initially. Now, we're not going to spend a massive amount of time on the customer and retailing side of things. Yes, we all need customers, but you'll develop a lot of customers as you start to build your business, and that is a great way now of building a customer base, is by talking to people about the business, and if they're not interested in the business, they can become customers. So yes, we will spend some time talking about retailing customer base, but we want to remember we use the 80-20 rule when we're building a business. That is, if we're interested in building a substantial income with Forever, we need to spend 80% of our time on building our team and 20% of our time on retailing. Now, if you're listening to this program and you're really only interested in building a retailing business, which is absolutely fantastic, then obviously you're going to spend more time on your retail than you are on your team building. But you need to know about these ratios and about the team building side of things, because you may well come across somebody who wants to join your business but wants to build a business quicker than you do. And the great thing with this business is they can do. We're then going to look at planning your new forever business owner. We're going to look at volume mapping that business owner, and then we're going to finish off with looking at the habits of a leader. So as I said, there's quite a bit to get through, so let's get started on methods of retailing. Lots and lots of methods of retailing, as you can see, and all this information can be taken from your First Steps to Manager planning manual that you'll get in your new business owner pack. So let's have a look at some of these in a little bit more detail. We can do business or product launches, and this is when you'll get a few people round to your house, generally speaking, or a friend's house, and your sponsor will come along and do the first product or business launch for you. So they'll come along, they'll have everything that they need to do a business launch. All you need to do is invite people along and get them to that business or product launch. Then your sponsor will come along, do a quick talk on the evening through about the history of Forever and the history of Aloe, and then talk through the products and the uses of the products, and then people can try the products, and then you'll get some customers. So you're using your sponsor's experience here to do the work, and your sponsor is going to do the work on your behalf. You're going to get the customers, you're going to get the retail profit, and you're going to look after those customers in the future. But what your sponsor's doing is showing and teaching you how to do a business or a product launch. A business launch and a product launch are basically the same thing. People just call them different things sometimes. A business launch, we may talk a bit more about the business than we would in an out-and-out product launch. But even in a product launch, we're primarily talking about the products, but we'll also talk about the business as well, because chances are there's going to be somebody in your audience who's interested. Once again, there's a lot more information about business and product launches in the First Steps to Manager, and also talk to your sponsor. Because you'll be doing the business and product launch with your sponsor, I don't want to talk through it in too much detail in case they do something slightly different. But the general format that I just outlined for you is what will happen at business and product launch. Then you can do mini launches. This is something that once you've got a little bit more experience on the products, you can do yourself, and that's you just take a few products along and talk to some friends that you know locally. So maybe just get 2 or 3 people together and have a quick chat with them and pass the product around. So it's a lot more informal, and a lot of people prefer that to doing a mini launch and making it much more casual and relaxed, rather than going through the more official product and business launch. The weight management side of things now is a business or side of the business growing really, really quickly in the UK. So using the C9, the Fit1 and the Fit2 is a fantastic way to build your business, and many, many people now are coming to the business through the C9 and the weight management side of things. I would absolutely recommend that if you haven't been on the training for the Fit products, as it's called, then I would strongly recommend that you do that, because what you don't want to be doing is just retailing people a clean 9, or C9 as they're now called, and them using that for 9 days and then not carried on to the Fit1 and the Fit2. But it's when people move from the C9 to the Fit1 is when you really get them cemented in as a long-term customer. And chances are then, if they will get great results on the Fit1, they will probably then look at becoming a distributor, if for nothing else, to buy the products at the wholesale price. But then when people start to see the changes in their body image, they're going to ask them what it is they're doing, and obviously they can then become a distributor and start retailing the products to their contacts as well. So the weight management side of things is a fantastic way to build your business, because how many people do you know want to lose weight? We can also use face-to-face conversations. Just talk to people on a daily basis. You know, I haven't been in the work situation for a long time, but I can always remember conversations in the workplace, or even conversations now with people, if it's people you know. Once you've talked about the weather, because we're British, we always talk about the weather and complain about it. Next thing we complain about is how we're feeling. How many people do you know say they're feeling tired and stressed and they're worn out, they've got no energy, they just wish they could do more? All we need to know is a little bit about our product range, and we can quickly get into the conversation with them. Well, you know, I used to feel like that, but what I found was using this product range I've come across, I feel absolutely fantastic now. I'm full of energy, I'm full of life, and can't wait to get up in the morning and start a new day. You know, can I tell you a bit more about the products? Would you be interested in trying? So face-to-face conversations is a fantastic way of building your business without it taking up any more of your daily time, because you talk to people on a daily basis when you're out and about, and really all you've got to do is start listening to people more than talking. And if you hear that there's talking about something that our products could help with, then you've got an in and you can start talking to them about our product range. Cards and flyers, so anything that's head office approved, once again on foreverknowledge.info there's pre-approved cards and flyers you can use for promoting the use of products and things. Trial packs. Trial packs are a bit like a mini launch, but you do them a bit more remotely. What I mean by that is a trial pack. Forever call them PUPs, which is a personal use product pack. I prefer the use of the name trial pack because it's not necessarily just personal use products that you're going to put it in there. But you can use a trial pack. You can put a trial pack together with Forever's PUP box, or you can make your own up with baskets that you can get from various retail outlets now, and make your own nice basket up so it looks a bit more friendly than just a box of products, if a box of products can look friendly, but I think you know what I mean. So your trial packs, you can adjust the products in there to the person that you're dropping them off for. So if they're a sporty person, you can put some more sports info and products in there. If there's somebody who's heavily into skincare and cosmetics, you can relate it more to that. So you can just adjust it to what people want. And if they're an animal-y person, put a lot more animal-related information in your pack when you drop them off. So with a trial pack, generally speaking, this will be with somebody that you know, because what you're going to do is have a quick chat with them. Maybe they couldn't make it to your product launch, and what you can say is, sorry you couldn't make it. They will probably say, oh yeah, sorry, I really wanted to see the products. You say, fantastic, that's no problem. What I'd like to do is call around and drop you off a trial pack of our products so you can try them in your own time. So that's a fantastic way to do it, because I can pop around, just drop you off some products. I'll quickly go through the products with you. I'll leave them with you for 2 or 3 days, pick them up, and then if you want to order something, we can go from there. So trial packs are a great time-effective way of building your business, providing you're sharing them with people that you know and trust, so you know you're going to get the products back, and providing the people that are relatively local, so you're not driving all around the country dropping off trial packs. We have just recorded a short presentation on using trial packs, and that presentation is available on the New Horizons New Horizons team Facebook page. If you go into that and click on the tabs at the top, you can see all the different videos we've got recorded, and you can just click on the one for trial packs. You can get booked into some local shows and events. It's getting now towards the summertime when there'll be a lot more shows and events coming up, and they're a great way to showcase the business and the products. Talk to your sponsor before you do it, because they'll probably have done something like this already. Now, if your sponsors are quite new and they haven't, then talk to their sponsor, talk to your upline manager, because they will have done some local shows and events, and they'll happily tell you what they found works and what doesn't work. My general rule is keep the costs down, and remember, whatever it costs you to go, you need to look at recouping your costs from just retail. That's how I always look at these things. So if I'm going along to a local show or event, and it's going to cost me £20, I look at how much products do I have to retail to get £20 back, and is that feasible? So for £20 it probably is. If I'm looking at going to something like the NEC, and it's going to cost me £2,000 for the weekend, am I going to recoup my money in sales? Probably not. So to me, that would be a bit of a no-go. But talk to your sponsor, the person who introduced you, or talk to their upline manager about their experience in doing shows and events. And referrals are a fantastic way to get extra customers. You know, if you've got a customer that's happy and loves the products, ask them if they know anybody else who would like to try the products, because that way you're expanding your business without doing any more extra work. You're using satisfied customers to pass your name and details on to their friends and families. Referrals are the most powerful way for businesses to build. This is why companies spend so much time on advertising, and lots of companies now reward you for recommending people onto their products and things. So quite often now you get rewarded for recommending people into their particular product range. You will get a reward either in some money off or some free products or something. So referrals is something that a lot of people don't actually do. They don't ask satisfied customers for referrals. I would recommend that you do, because it's a very easy, cost-effective way of building your business. You can look at some local advertising. And by local advertising, you could look in, most of us get these little magazines now through our doors that are all about local services and things. You can look at advertising in them. You can look at advertising just in a lot of shop windows, still take the little postcard adverts and things, which is very, very reasonable and cheap to do. Make sure that your advert that you put in is compliant, so run it past either your sponsor, your upline manager, or head office. Or look at head office approved adverts that are on foreverknowledge.info. go on there, go to the ad pack, and you can download things that are already pre-approved. If you want something that's different to that, and then you should get approval for it, then obviously you send that off to head office and they approve it and send it back to you once it's approved. Coffee mornings are a great way, again, very social. Particularly, I know a lot of people work with Macmillan when the Macmillan coffee mornings and things are on, but there's no reason why you have to wait till then. You can do your own coffee morning, get people around and just have the products around to talk about. You don't have to force these things on people, just have them there for people to try. If you're regular at the gym, or if you know a gym owner, or you know somebody who goes to the gym regularly, then that's a great place to move our products. And when you've got a bit more experience, you can look at doing talks to groups, like the WI, Rotaries, or different charities and things. These groups are always interested in getting speakers to their meetings. They're always looking for something different. I've done lots of talks to WIs and Rotaries and different charities, and they're quite happy, particularly if you can go along at short notice. So if you register with these people, they often book the speakers up a long time in advance. If you register with them and say, look, you're local to me, I'm happy to come along. If one of your speakers sometimes just lets you down at the last minute, give me a quick call and I'll come along. I generally don't charge a fee to go along to these things, because most of the speakers do. I just say, as long as you're happy for me to talk about my products and have some products there for people to purchase if they want, and emphasise the fact that it's not going to be a sales pitch. It's going to be an information evening, and if people want to try and buy the products, they can do. If you're doing something for a charity, you might want to go along and donate a percentage of your takings from that evening to the charity, and the percentage that you donate is entirely up to you. Okay, so that's down to you and your conscience and what you want to do with that. Networking clubs are a great way to talk about the business and the products. There's lots of networking clubs out there. Things like BNI is one of the better known ones, and then there's lots of women's networking groups. Women's business groups often meet, lunch clubs and things such as that, which are great as well. You get, generally speaking, given a slot every so often to do your 2-minute pitch, and you can also talk to people within the network as well about your products and your service and the business opportunity. So they're a good thing to do. Just put in networking clubs into Google and search it, you'll get lots of things coming up. Another method of retailing is your online shop with Forever. If you haven't got an online shop with Forever, I would suggest you do. And once you've got an online shop, look at how you can promote it and get people visiting your online shop. So just as with sponsoring, when we said you need to use at least 3 different methods, certainly with retailing, choose 3 different methods that are going to work for you. Not everybody is comfortable doing business and product launches. Not everybody is comfortable doing the weight management. Not everybody is comfortable doing talks to groups. So you choose 3 methods which are comfortable and suit you and suit your business method, and then they're the 3 that you want to develop. And you probably then add in a few others as you go along as well. But generally speaking, most of us will have at least 3 methods of retailing that are our usual ways that we use to retail products. So you want 3 methods of prospecting, and you also want 3 methods of retailing. So you've got to decide which methods suit you, and then go along with the appropriate tools available. So you need to read the First Step to Manager manual, because there's lots of tips and ideas in there for retailing products. Once you've chosen your methods, have a chat with your sponsor. So if your sponsor's new, then talk to their sponsor or talk to your apply manager. There's somebody in your team that'd be more than happy to talk to you and discuss the methods of retailing that you want to do and give you their insight into how it's worked for them. You need to download, if you're going to do a business or product launch, then download the Product Launch Presenter from the New Horizons team Facebook page. Get that downloaded. So the idea of that is it keeps you on track on the night when you're talking through the product range. I've now got a compliant Product Launch Presenter, which I'll be adding to the Facebook page this week. So if you listen to this anytime after, where are we now? Anytime after the 16th of April, if you go onto the Facebook page, the new compliant Product Launch Presenter will be on there by the end of this week. And I said the Product Launch Presenter isn't necessarily there to be read word for word. It's there to help keep you on track. I mean, those of us who have been around the business a long time, such as myself, I still use the Product Launch Presenter, because otherwise I spend too much time talking about the products and I don't get through enough products, and people get bored because they're not always interested in the product as we are. So I think the Product Launch Presenter is a fantastic tool to use when you're doing your product launches. So, as I mentioned when we started this, we all need some customers, but if you're looking to build a business with Forever, we need to look at the 80-20 rule. Okay, so yes, we all need some customers, but 80% of your time should be spent building your team, 20% of your time should be spent on retailing. So yes, retailing is very important, obviously, because if The products don't move, nobody gets paid. But the way network marketing works, in essence, is for everybody to retail a small amount. We don't want a few people retailing massive amounts, because that doesn't give us a stable overall business. And it's the same with our business. We want to have a lot of people in our business who are all retailing amount that's easy for them to look at and service a customer base. And doing it that way, it means that nobody's struggling to keep in touch with the customers and then giving good customer care. And indeed, that's the next section, customer care, because getting the customer is the hard part. Keeping the customer really should be the easy part. And we've been around this business for over 20 years now. We've got customers that have been with us practically from day one, and they're still buying products from us. And that's because we keep customer records. It doesn't matter what sort of customer record system you use, but do keep a customer record system. You can use a paper system on a 1 to 31 file, and all this, I believe, is in the First Steps to Manager. And all you need to do then is keep a record of each customer. So you keep a track of each customer's details, and then you just, once they bought a product off you, you look at when you need to review them. And I'll go through that in a bit more detail as we go through these points here. So you need a customer record system. Whether it's manual on paper or whether it's electronic is entirely up to you, but make sure you have a customer record system. So on your customer record system, you need to record the customer details, their personal details, what products they purchased and why, and anything else that they tell you about themselves. If they tell you the children's name, if they tell you the dog's, cat's name, tell you when they're going on holiday, we make a record of all that, so that when we're talking to that customer, we can ask them how the holiday went, we can ask them how the kids are, we can ask them how the dog is, and it just builds up that relationship with your customers. So it's not a call to sell them a product, it's a call to catch up with them and then see if they want any more product. Also, you need to know why they bought the product. So when you talk to them, you can ask them if it's helping. So if they bought the product because they've got IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, you need to make sure that you get in touch with them, and when you're ringing them up and calling them, you need to ask them if the product's helping yet. And we all know that it might take time, and everybody's different, so it takes a varying amount of time. This is why you need to build up a relationship with your customer so that they listen to you and they listen to your expertise. You also, on your record system, need to set a review date. Now, the review dates will vary depending obviously how much product someone is using and indeed which product it is that they're using. So if they're a drink customer, and these are your most important customers, then you need to give them a call 1 or 2 days after buying the product. That is to make sure they've got the product, they put it in the fridge and they're starting to drink it, because a lot of people will take it home and forget about it. So with a drink customer, it's important that you ring them after 1 or 2 days after buying it to make sure that they're taking the product. You then need to work out how much product they're taking and when they're likely to run out. Now, if your customer's taking it for quite a severe challenge, then you're going to ring them more often than just if they're taking it for good health. But work out when they're going to be running out and make sure you give them a call in between them running out and needing, in between them when they're going to run out, and don't just call them when they think they're going to run out. Ring them in between as well. So your call isn't just to get an order, your call's to see how they're doing. And then the next call will be to see how they're doing and are they ready for an order. With your C9 customers, you need to review them daily. You need to be in touch with them either by email, text, or whatever your preferred method is that you've agreed with them, to keep in touch daily to encourage them to keep going through the program. And for other products, any creams, lotions, shampoos and things that people buy, then give them a call 5 to 10 days after they've bought the product. And I always make sure that when I sell them products, I always say to them, we'll give you a call in a few days to see how you're doing with it. So they're expecting your call. Because it's unusual for people to get calls to say, how's the product? So, you need to be upfront with people and let them know that you're going to give them a call. As it says on the screen, continual follow-up show that you care and that you're not just calling for another order. If the only time your customer hears from you is when you think they want an order, what they're going to think? Well, the only time you ring me is when you want something. But if you ring them in between, have a quick chat, see how they're doing, then you've built up that relationship. And then once you've got a good relationship with them and they've ordered a few times, yes, you don't need to keep ringing them and pestering them. You then know when they're going to run out of product and you can give them a call at the appropriate time. Make sure that you only recommend the products that they really need. Don't just sell them products for the sake of selling products. Okay, what you want people to use, I'd rather people use a few products and come back time and time again than buy a lot of products and I never hear from them again. So recommend the products that they really want and need. Make sure that you encourage your new customers to use the products for the full 60 days. Okay, that's why the 60-day money-back guarantee is there, because it can take time sometimes for the products to get into people and start working. Always send a thank you, be that verbally, text, email or private message, or whatever you want to do, whatever is your preferred method that you've agreed with them, but always thank them for the product. And then look at rewarding loyal customers. If a customer's been with you for a long time, then why not give them a free lip to something every now and then, or a different product or something like that. That's better than giving them a discount, because if you give them a discount, you're not introducing them to more products. However, if you give them a free product every now and then you're introducing them to different products as well. When they're happy, ask them for referrals, and also reward them for any subsequent sales. So if they refer you on to somebody and that person buys something, then why not reward that original customer once again with a free product or whatever it is that you agree between you. That helps build rapport and trust. So you need to keep these conversations going with people, because you want your customers to become friends. You don't want them to just to be customers that you give an automated call to every now and then to see if they want some more product. And once again, just to reiterate, by following up consistently, it means that you care. You're not nattering them. You need to get a system that works for them. You might get some people who say, look, when I want some more, I'll ring you. That's absolutely fine. But make sure you put them in your diary, because you know when they're going to run out. If they don't ring you, I'd give them a call. But for most people, they like the customer service that they give, and that builds up that rapport. That means it'll come back time and time again for more products. So customer care really is key. Once you've got your customers, make sure you look after them. What I'm going to go on to now is planning with your new Forever business owner. So with the new Forever business owner, you need to set a date for the first planning session when you register them. Okay, so you need to set the date with them straight away. Once they get registered, set a date when you're going to do your first planning session. Ideally, as it says there, within 48 hours. Give your new Forever business owner links to the 4-week railing program so they can watch them before the first planning meeting. Okay, they might not have time to watch them all, but they could certainly make a start on watching them. And if you give them the links and say, it'd be great to watch these before we do our first planning meeting, because it would mean the planning meeting can go much more smoothly, much quicker. So give them the links to watch the 4-week rolling program. You need to arrange a date, time and venue for that. And it can be done remotely. Remember, you don't have to sit face to face to do it, although that's great if you can. But it can be done remotely. It can be done through Skype or just through telephone, with you each having the First Steps Manager document in front of you. You can do very effective planning that way. You need to allow about an hour for the first planning meeting. Make sure they're aware of this. Don't let them think they're coming to just a quick 10-minute meeting. You need to allow about an hour for the first planning meeting. Anything in over an hour, it starts to get a bit overkill and people won't remember it all. And you need to do your planning following the First Steps to Manager manual. Now that's very, very important, because if you follow the First Steps to Manager program, it means your team will follow the First Steps to Manager program, and it means that we all know we're following the same program. We don't want people doing different programs and getting different results. We want everybody following the same program so it's duplicatable, and that builds you a long-term secure business. Sort of things that we'll go through at the first planning meeting is we're going to establish why they join Forever and what it is that they want, and that's basically their why. So what is it that made them join Forever? Now this can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, because quite often we haven't been asked why we're doing something. You know, we don't get asked why we're doing a job. Usually we're doing a job to pay the bills. What we want in Forever, we want something that's going to drive people to work when they're tired, because most people are doing this when they get in from work on a night, so they're going to have to fit this in after doing a day job or a night job. So they need a why that's going to keep them going. Now the why is going to change as they go through the business. So initially they might come up with a small why, and that's absolutely fine, just go with that. Or they might come up with a huge why, which once again is absolutely fine, go with that. But find something that means something to them. We then need to link that why to a position on the marketing plan. So the easiest way to do this is find out a why, link it to sort of income level that you'll need to achieve that, and then link that to a position on the marketing plan. Generally speaking, the starting position is going to be manager. That's generally what we need to get to be able to achieve anything, because that's when we're looking at a relatively reasonable income starting to come in. They need to look at when they want to achieve this by, and is that realistic? Now they don't know the business, so to them it might be realistic to achieve £10,000 a month in 2 weeks. It might be realistic to achieve £500 a month in 3 years. So you've got to link what their why is to the marketing plan and look at their time frame they've got on the time they've got available to build a business and establish if this is realistic. If it isn't, you need to replan it, and if it is, fantastic, you move on. We then need to put the activity in place to start, and that's starting right now, right there, right then at that planning meeting. So there's no reason why they can't start profiling and contacting people at that meeting. So there we go. Get their who do you know list, because if they've been through the first 4 stages or first 4 rolling programs, then they'll know about doing the who do you know list and they'll have started it. So you can then, at the meeting, profile at least 5 people from the who do you know list and start contacting them. Now, if the person you talk to is very serious about wanting to build a business quickly, talk to them about joining the 5-month to manager group. So that's a group of people who are dedicated to putting time and effort in to move the business forward over a 5-month period to get through to at least that manager position in a 5-month period. Now, that is only for people that want to move relatively quickly in the business. If you talk to somebody who doesn't want to move that quickly, absolutely fine. You don't even need to mention the group. Just plan them for what it is they want. Now, remember, you are planning a business for what they want. I'm assuming here now that we're talking to somebody who wants to build a business. If you talk to somebody who wants to take things a bit slower, then obviously you just adjust what you're doing. You need to recommend the appropriate trainings for them to attend, and I say appropriate trainings because not all trainings are appropriate. If you're talking to somebody who just wants a retail product, then it's all retail-based trainings that need to come on. If you talk to somebody who wants to build a big business, then you don't need to worry too much about the retail side of the trainings, things like they're all about Allo. You need to look at more business building trainings. Okay, so make sure that you recommend the appropriate trainings. And then arrange your reviews with them. And if somebody who's building a business quickly, you might want to do daily reviews or weekly reviews or both. And once again, you adjust that to depending on the person that you're talking to, depending on how quick they want to build a business. So let's have a look at volume mapping your new forever business owner. Now remember, this is just an example, and this will depend on what people want to do. I'm assuming here now that we're talking to somebody who's saying that they want to build a business. At this point in time, they probably don't know what they'll need to do, so we're going to put a very simple plan together to show them how to build a business and the sort of activity levels they need to do that. So we're going to set a target in month 1 of when they start the business. Month 1 can be when they get the box, or it could be the following month when they want to get going. They might want to get the Forever Business Owner pack and start using some products, then the next month is when they really get started. But whenever they decide the month 1 is, the target for that month is 5 CCs. And we're looking at doing those 5 CCs by using a case credit yourself or retailing. So you're either going to use some products or retail, or do a mixture of both, which is probably what will happen. You'll use some product yourself and you'll get some customers and you'll accrue 1 case credit turnover. We'll then look at sponsoring. It says there 4 or 2 assistant supervisors. We're just going to stick to 2 assistant supervisors. So let's just sponsor 2 assistant supervisors in our first month that we get started building our business. So you're doing 1 CC in personal use and customers, and you're sponsoring 2 brand new Forever Business Owners into the business, 2 new assistant supervisors. And obviously what you've got then is a business that's going to turn over in total, when the screen moves on, there we go, 5 CCs. Okay, so you've done 1 and you've sponsored 2 new people, in this case it's John and Lucy, into your team, and your team turnover is 5 CCs. That's your target for month 1. If you do more, fantastic. Your target for month 2 is 15 CCs. How are we going to do that? Well, Lucy's going to do what you did in month 1. So Lucy's going to do a 5 CCs. You're doing your 5 CCs every month now. So your target every month is 5 CCs. So you're sponsoring 2 people and doing at least 1 in personal use and retailing. And because you've done it, you can show Lucy how to do it. So Lucy's going to copy what you did in month 1, and so is John. So Lucy and John have done exactly what you did. So the 3 of you now are doing 5 CCs each, and you've got 15 CCs. Fantastic. Your business is starting to build. So we move on to month 3. Our target for month 3 will be 30 CCs. And we're going to do that simply by duplicating the efforts that we've done in the first couple of months. So we've got 3 team members there. That's you, John and Lucy. And if you all sponsor 2 people each, that means that you're getting 6 new team members in your team. Add that to you 3, that gives you 9 team members. So you've all sponsored 2 each in this month. You've got 3 of your existing, so 3 and 6 obviously is 9. Now we only actually need 6 of that team to be active. So although you've got a team of 9, we're allowing the fact that 3 people aren't actually going to be active in this business. So we've got 6 people active, all doing 5 case credits, because that's the target that we set everybody now. 6 5s are 30. So that's a fantastic way to start building your business in your week 3. And if we move on to week 4, or month 4, sorry, your target on month 4 is 50 cc's. The way we do that is more duplication. We've got 6 team members that are active. Remember, we had 9 in the team, but we've only got 6 that are active. So in month 4, we've got 6 that are active, and we all sponsor 2 each. So 6 times 2 is 12. So we've got 12 new team members coming in that month. Add those to the existing 6 team members we've got. That means you've got a total in your team of 18 people. But to hit our target of 50 cc's, we only need 10 of those people to be active. So we're allowing for 8 people out of your team of 18 not to be active. So we've got 10 people just following the 5cc process. That's use or retail a case credit, sponsor 2 people a month. 10 of people doing that in your team gives you a team turnover now of 50 case credits. So by month 4, you've already got a good business established. When we move into month 5, your target for month 5 is 70 case credits. So once again, we're not going up by a huge amount, we're only increasing by 20 case credits. We've got 10 active team members from month 4. Now in month 5, those 10 active team members sponsor 2 new assistant supervisors each. That gives us 20 new team members. Add those to the existing 10, means we've got a team of 30 in total. Now we only actually need 14 of that team of 30 to be active. So we're actually allowing for just over 50% of the team not to be active. So if we have 14 people in the team, of those 30 people active, 14 people all doing 5 case credits, means we've got a business turning over in month 5 of 70 case credits. Great news there, congratulations that you've now made manager, because in month 4 you did 50 cc's and in month 5 you did 70 cc's. It says 50 on the screen there, it should say 70. That means that you've got 120 case credits in your business. So you've got, because all our promotions, as you know, are over 2 months. So in month 4 you did 50 and in month 5 you did 70, which means you've got 120 case credits in your business and you're now at the position of manager in Forever. And that's all by you just doing 1 case credit in retail and personal use and sponsoring 2 people a month. So we're not asking people to sponsor hundreds of people, we're only asking people to sponsor 2 people a month over the first 5 months, and then just use and retail a total of 1 case credit minimum throughout those 5 months. That sort of target is doable and achievable for most people when they're looking at this business. And if you explain it to them in a simple way like that, I think most people will agree they can do it. Once you get to manager, you're then a leader of your team. You're then a leader in Forever, and you need then to start developing the habits of a leader. Now remember, if you're fairly new, you won't be doing that volume mapping with new people. The sponsor will be helping you do it. But as you build your business, you need to look at this as well as developing some good habits. So what habits should a leader develop? The leaders have amazing attitudes. It's attitude that makes a huge difference in this business. It's all about attitude. It's not about having lots and lots of skills. It's mainly about having the right attitude. Leaders consistently learn and developing themselves. Never stop learning in Forever. And it says there, remember, key. Keep educating yourself. So key is the key to the business. Educating yourself consistently is the key in Forever. Never ever stop learning. Need to lead by example. It's pointless you showing somebody the plan of doing 5 case credits and sponsoring 2 a month if you're not doing that yourself. You need to be upfront and honest with people and show them what you're doing. Leaders are consistent with their time and effort. It's consistency that is the key, one of the main keys in this business. It's consistent with the amount of time and effort you've got to put into this business. It's pointless putting lots and lots of hours in 1 week and nothing for the next 2 weeks, and then lots and lots of hours in week 4 and so on and so forth. You need to be consistent with your time and effort in Forever. And they definitely appreciate that attitude is everything. It's what makes the business work. And there's a great saying that says your attitude will determine your altitude in Forever. And that's so true, because it doesn't matter really all your skill sets. If you've got the right attitude, then you'll fly high in Forever. Leaders are committed. They're committed to doing their 4 CCs every month, and in fact, if you're following this plan, you're committed to doing your 5 CCs every month. That is sponsoring people and doing at least 1 CC in retail. But what will happen is, as a leader, you'll end up doing 4Case credits outside of sponsoring new distributors into Forever, or new business owners into Forever. So eventually you'll build up a 4Case credit retail business. And that's great, because then that means you've got your 4Case credits in every month, and that's what you need to do to qualify for all your bonuses. So they're committed to doing that every single month. They're committed to attending all events. Now, I know not everybody can attend all events, and some of you are in different parts of the country and you can't always get to everything. But you need to be committed to all the events that you can possibly attend. They're committed to prospecting and recruiting on a regular basis. You never stop prospecting. You never stop looking out and listening to people who are looking for something. And then you never stop bringing new people into your business. This business is great, bringing in new customers all the time, but it's bringing in new Forever business owners that's going to build you a long-term income in Forever. They're committed to their goals and dreams. We all need to have our goals and dreams written down and know what it is that we want to achieve and be committed to achieve them. If you're very not too bothered about achieving your goals and dreams, you're never going to do it. They need to really, really drive you to want to achieve your goals and your dreams. And committed to doing whatever it takes. And if your goals and dreams mean enough to you, then you will be committed to doing whatever it takes. And that means doing things when you don't want to, sometimes. They are committed to success, and it's not success for themselves, it's success for their team. Because the only way that we get huge success in Forever is by committing to other people's success. And that's, leaders are definitely committed more to other people's success than they are to their own. But of course, other people's success leads to their success. A good habit of a leader is that they never stop learning. They read the right books. You should be constantly learning, as we've said, but you should be constantly getting different books. If you don't know, if you're a bit stuck or you're not quite sure which book to get next, when you're at our Success Express days, talk to Barry the Book, and or Knowledge is King, we call him Barry the Book, and he'll recommend you a book to get you through a particular problem or to move you on, or whatever it is that you feel you're struggling with at that time. Barry's got fantastic knowledge of all of his books there. They go to the right trainings, so they put the time and effort in to make sure that they get to the right trainings to carry on developing themselves. They learn from doing rather than waiting for somebody to do it for them. So they don't stand back and say, it doesn't work for me. They get out there and do it. They don't wait for somebody to show them how to do it. They get out there and do it and learn from it, and then they pass that experience on to the team. Leaders definitely don't say, I'll try. They'll say, I will. So when I talk to somebody about coming to the Success Express, if they say, oh, I'll try, that means they're not coming. I want somebody to say, yes, I will be there. Then I know they'll be there. I try, generally speaking, means I won't, in my opinion. So you want to remove I'll try from your vocabulary and replace it with I will. Leaders also understand that failure is not an option. That come back to your goals again. What is the option? What is the option for you if you don't build a business for Forever? Is it that you're going to carry on doing what you're doing now? Which presumably you wanted something different, which is why you're looking at Forever. So you need to understand, failure is not an option. Failure is not an option for Yvonne and I. This is our only source of income. So building this business and being successful in this business is not an option. Now, not building this business is not an option. So failure for us is definitely not an option. And until you get that mindset, you might struggle sometimes to carry on and build your business. You need to be prepared to embrace change. It's going to be different from what you've done before, but you need to be prepared to listen to people that are successful, and that's the key thing. You get a lot of people in life who talk to you about a lot of things and will have opinion on things. I would strongly recommend that you listen and take action from the people that are making this business happen, not the people that are not making it happen but talk a good talk. So make sure that you talk to the right people and embrace the changes needed to move your business forward. You need to be disciplined. Discipline is something which all success is built upon. You can't be successful if you're not disciplined. You need to be disciplined as to what you're going to do, when you're going to do it by. Disciplined in the number of people you're going to talk to. Disciplined into looking after your customers. Disciplined into helping your team build. So discipline is a great thing to have. And we need some daily disciplines. What we're going to do on a daily basis that then become habits. Okay, we need to recommend the right training. So we need to know what the trainings are and have attended trainings to be able to recommend the right trainings to our team. And that takes discipline to make yourself go on trainings, not necessarily for you, but you want to know what they are so you can recommend them for your team. The discipline so they don't get put off with no's. Fact, More people are going to say no to this business when you talk to them than say yes. So you've got to get used to rejection. You know, that's just a fact. You've got to get used to it. And if rejection is something you struggle with, then you've got to get used to getting over it, because you're going to get lots of no's in this business, but it's the yeses that are the ones that really keep us going. So we need to focus on the process, not the outcome. So we're not focusing on whether it's a yes or a no at the end. We're focusing on doing the work necessary to get to the point where somebody's going to say yes or no to us. Because if we go through the process enough, we'll get to the right people. And we need to do whatever it takes to get there. What's it going to take? You know, it's going to take giving up some time doing something else that perhaps you wanted to do. You might have to give it some hobby time. You might have to give it some TV time. But is it worth it to build a long-term future for you and your family? And most importantly of all, of course, is don't give up. When the going gets tough, they don't give up. They get going. Too many people give up just before success is coming. Also, as a leader, what they do, the habit, is to take action. They appreciate that you know, it takes time and effort to build a business. It's not going to happen overnight. So they appreciate that when working on the business, or when working on their own actual business, that having a good minute will lead to a good hour. And having a good hour will lead to a good day. And having a good day will lead to a good week. And having a good week will lead to a good month. And having a good month will lead to having a good year. And having a good year will lead to a great business and an amazing life. But it all starts with having a good minute, then having a good hour, then having a good day, having a good week, having a good month, having a good year. And that ultimately gives you a fantastic business and whatever it is that you want from this business towards giving you a great life for you. But you've got to start with that first minute. But when do you want to start living life of your dreams? This is a question for you, really. When do you want to start having that good minute? When do you want that good minute to lead into the good hour, to the good day, to the good week, the good month, the good year? You've got to decide that. And you need to create an action plan to take action now. Don't just think it, you need to do it. And you need to put things in action to make things work now. That is the habit of a leader. They do things now. They don't wait to do things at a later date. Okay, so finally, you need to get yourself and recommend your teams to book onto relevant trainings that are around at the time that you're listening to this presentation. You need to join the Facebook team. That's the New Horizons Facebook team, because that's where we'll put all of our trainings that are coming up, and that's where you'll be able to download the information we talked about today as well. You need to look at joining foreverknowledge.info. Lots of information on there, lots of online trainings you can access, and also that gives you access to the online shop. And it gives you access to online presentations as well. So it saves you lots and lots of time driving around the country doing presentations when you can do them online. So yes, it's going to be an outlay. I think it's £10 a month, but the amount of time and money it can save you is immeasurable. You need to keep in touch with your sponsor. Remember, your sponsor is looking after lots and lots of different people, so they can't always be ringing you. You need to be talking to your sponsor. I love it when new distributors or new business owners get in touch with me, because it means they're working. When a new business owner goes quiet, it means they're not working. When they're working, they've got questions, and they'll be ringing me and asking me things. You need to commit to your daily disciplines. What you're going to do today to move your business forward. And you need to do something every day to move your business forward. And most importantly, if you get stuck, ask for help. That's what we're here for. Your sponsor will never get fed up of you getting in touch with them and asking for help, providing you are actually being active. Don't be one of these people that just keeps asking and doesn't do anything. Make sure that you're doing something and asking for help how to do it. Then your sponsor will be only too happy to work with you. As sponsors, we love busy people. We love busy distributors. We love questions, because it means that you're out there, you're working, you're making things happen. And have fun. Have fun doing this business. Know what it's going to give you from a long-term point of view, because not every day when you're doing this business will be fun. There will be bad days, bad times, when you'll wonder why you're doing it. Every leader you talk to in forever, every successful person you talk to in forever has thought of quitting. But they haven't. They've kept going because they've got that bigger picture in their mind, and they know what they're going to get to, and they know that really there wasn't an alternative. And eventually they do have fun building a business. It will always be fun, but do have fun. That's the end of week 4. Thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions or feedback from that, please feedback through the New Horizons Team Facebook page, or call your sponsor or call myself or Yvonne and get in touch with us. And if you haven't watched the first 3 weeks, click back and look at them again, and indeed revisit it all. So thank you very much for tuning in, and we look forward to meeting you all, and we look forward to seeing you on stage at the Success Days celebrating your success. Thank you all very much, and we'll speak to you and meet you all soon.